Another item lock deck is in town, be careful! I'm Trevenant, I'm scaring the children permanent. Poltergeist is just so different. With your back you should be listening. With a deck like this you'll be suffering. Item locked to your stock, no positioning. Hold on to your cards, it's triggering. The damage output quite interesting. I could give you a break, ha! Literally for God's sake. Turning into a psychic type so viciously. Spreading damage around, I'm a scary tree. Yeah, rapidly taking them prize cards quickly. I am better than ever and ready to shred whoever whenever I put on the pressure. Be sure to remember that this deck brings the real terror. But wait, I am not done, I confuse anyone with a fan. Turn back, even got Lily by my side, healing me up when the time is right. Enjoying the show? Be sure to subscribe or giving it a little like, because just like every week, there's an episode on your goddamn screen. Bang! Yeah, that's right, episode 118, Trevenant. What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome to episode 118. In this video we'll talk about the Trevenant Vileplume deck and I'll give you a deck analysis as well. So we start with Trevenant, 110 HP grass type stage 1, which is not bad. We can evolve with the Forge of Giant Plants and it has a perfect first attack, Poltergeist, for a double cardless energy, dealing 30 damage times the amount of trainer cards in your opponent's hand. So you can actually check out your opponent's hand as well, so you know the knowledge of that with the addition of dealing a ton of damage. In most situations you deal a ton of damage, and with the Forest of Giant Plants we can get Trevenant going as soon as turn 1, so that is awesome. Little Phantom also has an attack cost for double cardless energy to confuse your opponent's active Pokemon, so can be really great in certain situations. It also has a second attack, but we're not looking at that. We are just using it for Poltergeist. It has 2 retreat costs and it has the grass type, meaning we can deal super effective damage against things like Lycanroc GX, which will be one of the popular decks coming out of Guardians Rising. Then Zygarde, of course, and other things are water types. Think about Lapras GX, also weak against grass, so it's can be really easy to shut those guys out of existence really fast. Also Greninja Break is weak to grass, so Poltergeist, we don't need a lot. We actually only need 3 or 4 trainer cards in the opponent's hand and bang, we one-shot everything of those cards straight from the bat. Against things like those, it's a really fun time, but against other decks as well. So what else is Trevenant all about? Well, it also has a break. If you haven't noticed, there's a Trevenant break which has Silent Field, dealing 30 damage. Actually plays 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon, which is damage spread, and that is awesome in combination with Vileplume. So you can stuck something in the active and then get that Silent Fear going turn after turn. So it's just so good, and yeah, it's gonna be a new deck, so I'm gonna talk about it in this video. I'm gonna give the deck list as well, so you guys can get started straight from the bat with the Trevenant coming from Guardians Rising. Another thing you should know about Trevenant is that because of that item spread, getting those one-hit KOs is not hard at all. Poltergeist will finish off everything in the late game, because if you get Vileplume out at turn 1, usually your opponent will have a lot of item cards in their hand in addition to the supporters they have, so that is awesome. So now we are gonna make a deck list with it. This is actually my personal deck list. I also added some personal touches here and there. So we run 3 Trevenant with the Poltergeist. You could add it up to 4 if you want to, but I also thought that there is another Trevenant that is still in the standard format, which is the one with the Nervous Seed ability. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon need 1 cardless energy more to attack. So you actually make it so your opponent has to attach an extra energy. So we also run the, of course, the Break to spread around damage. And the thing you should know is that we can evolve to the Psychic Trevenant also on turn 1 because of the Forest of Giant Plants. It states that you can evolve your grass type, so that is awesome indeed. So Silent Fear spreading a lot of damage in the deck in combination with those Trevenants. So we run 4 little grass Phantoms, of course, just because we want to evolve thanks to Force of Giant Plants, and this is the Grass Phantom, not the Psychic type, you don't want that. Then we're running a heavy line of Vileplume, running a 3-3-3 line. Now you might wonder why we're not running a 2-2-2 line like in this Decidueye. Well, we need Vileplume on turn 1. This deck only functions best when we have Vileplume out on turn 1. The reason for that is that if your opponent has a ton of items in the early game, they cannot use anything in their hand and they stack up a lot of items, while we can just deal more damage with that Poltergeist attack in the stages of the game. So we want them not to be able to use those items, those Ultra Balls, to getting rid of more trainer cards. We want them to preserve all those items and trainer cards in the hand. So a heavy Vileplume line is a must, so definitely play a 3-3-3 line of Vileplume. And then, of course, we have support Pokemon. We have Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is one of the best cards. It actually is the best card from the Guardians Rising set because it's a really great supporter Pokemon. If you place it down on your bench, you may search your deck for any supporter you find there and place it directly into your hand. In addition to that, it also has Tapu Cure GX to heal off 2 bench Pokemon completely. And of course, that attack is really powerful, just like Lugia. We also run 2 Shaman EX just for the setup ability, drawing into those needed puzzles because we want to get our puzzle complete just in time, getting a Vileplume on turn 1, in addition with some alternate attackers because in the late game we fizzle out because we are item locked as well. We cannot get out multiple Trevenants, so we have to get them out as early as turn 1 with those level balls and ultra balls, which I'm gonna talk about later. So those are the Pokemon in the deck. You can maybe switch it up to something. I'll give you maybe another tech card later on in the video. So this is the pure Pokemon I run. You can also add it up to 1 Tapu Lele and only 2 Shaman with something else. But this is just my list. We're running 4 Forest of Giant Plants. This is just a must in the deck. There's no way around it. You need Forest of Giant Plants to evolve your Audacious all the way to Vileplume and your Phantops all the way to Trevenant. Trevenant is only stage 1. It's kind of easy to do that. Maybe you can wait a turn. That is not the crucial part here. The crucial part is getting Vileplume out as early as turn 1. So that's why we are running Forest of Giant Plants. Still one of the more overpowered stadium cards in the standard format. In addition with that, if we get our Vileplume out, our opponent will have a ton of items in the hand and they won't be able to use anything starting from turn 1, which is great. We run 3 N. Now we're going to the supporters first. N is great. Definitely, if your opponent does not have a lot of items, or actually they used everything and then their item block, they only have 1 card, we want to end our opponent so that way they have a lot of trainer cards in their hand. Then we can use Poltergeist, also in the late game, is a really great comeback card. And then 4 Sycamore, you can also add it up maybe to adding 1 Lily instead of 4 Sycamore, then 3 Sycamore, then 1 Lily, because we do run Tapu Lele, but I do prefer playing the aggressive style because we have Revitalizer to get back crucial parts of our combination like that. Sycamore, really great card, gets you 7 fresh hands, actually a fresh hand of 7 cards. Then of course Lysander, targeting out everything. Maybe you can add up a 3rd Lysander if you find the room for it, because in a deck like this you want to trap something in the active position and use Silent Fear a couple of turns while then using that Poltergeist to finish things off. We have Olympia on the deck as well, just because if we are trapped, let's say we don't get out our Floatstone in time and we evolve to Vileplume just because we want to, then maybe they can drag up our Vileplume, then it's stuck for the rest of the game. We have to attach energies to it. That is not good. So that's why Olympia is in the deck, to prevent situations like that. We can also heal an additional 30 damage with that. Yeah, we run 4 Trainer's Mail, getting out those crucial things, of course, our Forest of Giant Plants or Ultra Ball, Level Ball. A great supporter like Sycamore could be fine, but if we get an Ultra Ball going, the deck runs itself because Shaman is there to draw. We have Tapu Lele to get out our supporter of choice, so everything is kind of possible when we have Trainer's Mail in the early stages. We run 4 copies just because we want to start with it and get our stuff going. We run 3 Ultra Balls. You can add it up to 4 in this kind of deck, but I just run 3 Ultra Ball just because I think it's perfect for the deck. You don't always want to get out something because, yeah, we do run Tapu Lele to get our supporter. Usually you would use Ultra Ball to get out Shaman and draw cards, but I only run 3 Ultra Balls and 3 Level Balls in a combination like that, just because I find it to be the perfect number. We do have Trainer's Mail to get to our Ultra Ball straight from the bat, so there's that. Okay, so with Level Ball we can get out Pokemon with 90 HP or below, so we get out our Phantom, our Oddish, our Gloom like that. The main thing is getting Vileplume, so Level Ball is a must. You can also maybe add in Timer Ball if you want to. Then 3 Floatstone, you can maybe add that up to 4 in this situation because we want to have our Vileplume out on turn 1 and getting that Floatstone attached is a must. But I run 3 Floatstones and then an Olympia copy just to make sure that we can get our Vileplume out of the active position. Then 1 Revitalizer, that is also something you might question. Maybe you can add it up to like 2 Revitalizers, or maybe something completely different and try out the new Rescue Stretcher. Also gets Pokemon from the discard back. So that way you can play aggressively and then get to that item. We run 2 Field Blowers. Now you might question why running 2? Well, if Garbodor has a Floatstone attached, our abilities are shut down, which means no more item lock. and no more use of the Shaman and Tapu Lele. So Field Blower gets rid of that, and we can get back in the game with that. In situations where we dead draw, we definitely want Shaman or Tapu Lele to get ourselves back in the game. And if Garbodor has a Floatstone, nothing is possible anymore. And I do predict a lot of Garbodor plays in the future with that regular rare Garbodor that uses 20 damage times the amount of trainer card, actually item cards in the discard. So that's why I'm running that. Also, we're running Psychic Energies. Now you might question, why don't we run Grass? We also have a Grass Trevenant to deal that attack. Well, the Psychic Energies are for the break and just for that other a Trevenant that uses Energy Press, 70 damage plus 10 more for each energy, and that's your opponent's active Pokemon, so that Trevenant is good. And then 4 double Colorless Energies to finish up the deck. And this is the deck list, guys. Definitely let me know what you think about the Trevenant deck. Are you hyped for this new deck? Are you gonna test it out? Definitely let me know how you are gonna play this deck and what cards you are gonna run into it. And now, with that out of the way, let us look at some other cards you might want to run in a deck like this. Okay, which are the tech cards? Well, of course, I want to mention Oricorio. It's a great Pokemon with Supernatural Dance, dealing 10 damage. Actually, you can place 1 damage counter for each of your opponent's Pokemon in the discard. So if they are item locked, they usually tend to play aggressively and discard everything with Sycamore. So that is good. Supernatural Dance can definitely help us out. Even with that Silent Fear sniping around, getting those extra damage counters, Oricorio might be just great. Lily is there. I talked about it before. If you use Tapu Lele, you can get out your Lele. Actually, Lily on turn 1, which is great. Then of course Pokemon, actually not Pokemon, Professor Kukui, dealing an additional 20 damage can help you out in certain situations. You don't always need it, but it's just a nice option to think about. Teammates, also one of those copies that you want to think about. We have of course the Tapu Lele to get it out immediately, and if we have a knockout, we can definitely get our double Colorless Energy and another Trevenant going straight from the bat. So definitely think about it to put in the deck. It's just so good. Hex Maniac is an interesting choice because we are running item lock, but sometimes if they want to strangle our Vileplume in the active position, we can use Hex Maniac and attach a Floatstone to get it out of the active position like that. Also, Hex Maniac on turn 1 is actually really devastating. That way your opponent is in a difficult situation and will not be able to set up, but it's an occasional card right there. Also, the Team Flare Grunt is nice because we do run that Trevenant that makes it so you need an extra energy, and Team Flare Grunt helps it out with that. And then to finish it off, Muscle Band. It's a really great card to deal 30 extra damage to EXs and GXs, but think about it, only to GXs and EXs, so you have to be careful. Also, you have to attach it before you have the item lock going, but with the Hex Maniac, you can have that combo right there. So those are additional cards I found in my banner that could actually help the deck. Maybe there are more, put them in the comment section as always. I definitely appreciate all your opinions and thoughts. And with that out of the way, let's go to Poke News. Alright guys, welcome to Poke News. In this little segment of the episode, I talk about new releases and new cards that we can look forward to in the near future. And the first thing on my list this time is Super Scoop Up, getting a return in the 3rd Sun and Moon set. We are getting it probably in the Burning Shadow set in the beginning of August, so just before Worlds, which is awesome because Super Scoop Up is a card that has been seen a lot of play at World Championships. It's a really great card and lets you flip a coin. If has, put one of your Pokemon and all cards, attach them back into your hand, sort of like AZ, but you don't have to discard anything. But it is a coin flip though, so remember Acerola, the card I talked about before? Well, it's something similar, but only for an item card, which is good. You do need to have that coin flip going your way, but this is great to reuse abilities like, for example, Shaman EX, Tapu Lele GX, and other shenanigans like that. So also you should know is that this card, you can use the older copies of the card, so you don't have to worry about getting that new card. You can use your older copies, reverses, and anything for that matter. So Super Scoop Up, getting back, kind of hyped for that because it's a great card. Also really nice to heal off damage in tight situations or to switch. Let's say something is active and you want to get out of the active position. Super Scoop Up might just be the card that can do that trick as well. Now to some new releases. Really looking forward to that. There's the pin collection, of course. They are getting that Entei, Suicune, and Reiko into the format here with the pins. We see the Steam Siege set, Evolution set, and Sun and Moon being part of that 3-pack blister, and those actually look really nice. I definitely like that Reiko pin. Wouldn't mind getting one of those. Talking about more releases, we have the deck list for the legendary battle decks featuring Ho-Oh EX and Lugia EX. And what do we see on here? We see Vileplume is in there, kind of interesting. We see Stabilized, Smeargle, Tropius, Xerneas on that Ho-Oh thing. Also, VS Seeker is definitely part of that 60 card deck, so that is awesome indeed. Also, Super Rod I see there, and then yeah, Professor Juniper, kind of interesting to see because Sycamore does the same thing. But for expanded, there's also an N in there, so Lysander also really competitive cards in the deck. 2 Ultra Ball, definitely something to look forward to. And the Lugia deck list, we see not the Vileplume, but we see Blizzy, so getting a Vileplume will be really easy nowadays with that addition of those competitive decks. And also you get EX cards, so why not get them? They only cost $19.99 and will be released on the 5th of May, actually, and 2 days from now, together with the release of Guardians Rising. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel because, yeah, the Guardians Rising booster box is coming in 2 days, so you definitely don't want to miss that out. Talking about more releases, we have now promo images, actually collection images of the Espeon GX collection box, actually premium collection box, and then the Umbreon GX Premium Collection Box. Really nice to see. You get a full art Espeon or Umbreon depending on the box you pick. Also a regular Umbreon GX or Espeon GX depending on which box you pick, of course. And then there's also an Eevee in there, and also containing a ton of booster packs. I believe there are about 6 or 8, could be something like that. It will be $39.99, and the thing here is they also get a jumbo card, and it will be released on July 14th. So really nice to see that alternate artwork for the evolutions, and these releases will definitely go into my collection straight away. Also, that foil Eevee is definitely something you want if you're playing with Eevee. Okay, lastly, talking about more promos, it's kind of strange here because the new reprints of Jolteon and Mega Lucario and stuff like that, we look at it closer and then we see that on the set number, we see that the original set number is there. Just let's say, for example, we have the Jolteon from Generations. We see that there is a number 28 on the card, and besides that, we also have an A. So 28A of 83 cards from the Generation set. So I think they will do this time after time with the new additional arts. And if they get an additional arts, we see like, for example, Jolteon 28A. If there is another Jolteon EX reprint like that, they will have a 28B. So really nice to see that you can upgrade your sets with new full arts, which is awesome like that. Anyway, this was it for the Poke News section. I hope you guys had an awesome time with this episode. I definitely had some fun making it, and if you'd have fun as well, definitely show your support by destroying the like button. You know I always appreciate that, and as mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any epic deck list from Guardians Rising, because there will be a ton of videos on the channel really soon. Anyways, this was Zapdos TCG here, and I wish you all the best day of your life, because yeah, Guardians Rising is coming out in 2 days. We are stoked. Anyways, I'm out. Peace out.